Just because she thinks that her ex-husband dropped a big pocketbook in her lap, it gives her license to be such a f***ing
virtual reality.
Hi, I'm Danny Murphy.
And I'm Evan Real.
And we are keeping it classy with Caviar, but even though some other C words were used on this episode of Beverly Hills.
You need to pick on somebody else whose wallet fits.
Oh, yeah. And some P words like Dorit.
I prefer the etc., the most expensive one. Somebody like Dorit would get the cheapest one.
So obviously things with Dorit and Sutton are hitting more than a head.
Did I call you a bitch?
No, I should have called you a f***ing bitch.
Like the girls are not just fight. Like, I don't even want to call this fighting. What would you call this?
It's not hits and misses, it's hits and Missy.
Let me make this very clear, Missy.
Wow, what's with the Missy?
Okay, so I was not loving Dorit. I thought that was a little bit below the belt. But now calling someone Missy, I'm kind of into that. Like, I am also from the South, and I feel like when I was a kid, that was a word that was used a lot. You know, like Missy, like that. Like when you hear, like, actually, unfortunately, I was called Missy a few times. You know.
Okay.
Which is fine. It's fine. Like,
okay, take it back. Yeah.
I'm one of the girls. But anyways, it was just such a throwback, and it felt good to my soul.
If it makes me feel better, whenever I make an appointment online, they're like, "Hey, ma'am," and I'm like, now I sound like an old woman.
Now that's Missy to you, babe. It's
That's
not.
Missy. Yeah,
not,
that's true.
Not ma'am. That's Missy.
That's Missy. Oh, it's not even a feud. I just think it's like, I used to think Garcelle and Dorit hated each other.
Yeah.
That is nothing
compared
to the anger. It's almost joyful. It's the loathing. It's like wicked. What is this feeling between Dorit and Sutton? Because they are so excited to fight with each other.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Caviar thing, we had hope that it would kick off, but I knew it would kind of go south because even in the van with Kyle and Sutton going over, Sutton was like, I'm hanging out with all of our 14-year-old friends.
I was watching the Babysitter Club.
What's a babysitter club?
They were Dorit's friends, who were 14. And then...
They were 14.
What, you want me to be nice?
No. I'm just laughing.
I am not being nice today. This is not nice, Sutton.
Do you want me to be nice? I won't.
Yeah, she was ready to go. I feel like it's kind of one of those things, you know, like when you're in, I don't know, you're in the shower, you're getting ready, and you're thinking of all the things you're going to say to the person you hate the most because you know you're going to see them later. Yeah, like she was sitting there ruminating, thinking, scheming, dreaming about what she was going to say to Dorit. Do you think that the, you know, mess with someone with your own wallet size situation, do you think that was premeditated when she was getting her hair done?
I'm wondering, I feel no, because I'm like, how did we get to that? Because it never was a moment of like, has Sutton questioned Dorit's finances before?
I don't think Sutton has questioned Dorit's finances, but I think maybe now that divorce is on the table, she knows that finances are going to be a shaky situation for Dorit. So I think that she knows that is kind of like a tender spot at the moment. And, you know, you hit where it hurts.
You hit where it hurts. And I think it was also one of those things where Sutton's like, what do I say right now? And I feel like she was almost trying to be like, what do I say right now that really isn't no going back?
Yeah.
And she whipped out the wallet, and money's been on the mind because she wants to date a billionaire. So
I think we need to find me like a billionaire.
A billionaire,
I think
yes.
I'm going to go for money.
Okay.
I have my own.
That's right.
But I really think I need to find a man who really wants to spoil me.
Yeah, money is on the mind for Sutton lately, but she doesn't regret it. She was like, I'm glad I said it. I don't regret it. She's standing by it. Like in that confessional, she doubled down on it. But the reaction from everyone else, especially Kyle, it was that, you know, going after Dorit's allegedly smaller wallet was classless and tasteless and just wrong.
But you just reminded me of Dorit's confessional clapback about it.
Remind the class.
Where she was like, your ex-husband put threw a rich pocketbook down on your lap, doesn't give you the right to be an effing C word, and the only thing you bought with your money was a horse, not a date.
Well,
which it's hard to buy a date.
It is hard to buy. I mean, I think that's prostitution. So at least she's not engaging in illicit, illegal activity.
That's true. Well,
so love that.
Kind of inspired Dorit and PK's anniversary last year. Pretty woman.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
True,
So, yeah.
true. Okay, so money is on the mind for Sutton. Prostitution is on the mind for Dorit. Money and prostitution. Very LA. Very Hollywood.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oscars, yes.
Oh, and there was talk of Oscar nominations.
I love when Erica Jane has 2 drinks and starts bringing out facts, too. Like, I didn't know. Cher's probably like, how am I in Beverly Hills?
I know. I will say, I did know that Cher was from the Valley and that she was Armenian.
I did know that, too.
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of like common knowledge, especially for the gays and Erica Jane, who was basically a gay man also.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was Faye talking about, was it Faye brought up the Oscar nomination. It was honestly nice to see Faye back in the mix.
I know, she looked amazing too.
She was like, oh, so you were nominated for an Oscar, and Jennifer was like, yeah, 1995. But then Erica was the one who was like, and sister nominations. I didn't know sister nominations were a thing. I didn't know
Jennifer Tilly had a sister who was in the biz.
I didn't either. And both nominated for Oscars. Congratulations to them.
I know.
A belated congrats. A 30-year belation celebration.
Thank God Cynthia Bailey wasn't there because she'd say, win a case. Win a case. Yeah. Win an Oscar.
Oh, she would.
Wait, but do you think it was premeditated? Do you think Dorit walked into the Caviar dinner saying, I know I'm going to bring up me and Sutton's fight no matter what. How do I do it? And then when she saw Sutton with water, she just goes, is this because of our tete-a-tete?
Sutton, it's important to stay hydrated.
Is that because of our tete-a-tete?
I know. Look, I think that both Dorit and Sutton were ready to address the situation, and Dorit got to it first. I think that Sutton gave her a layup by ordering
a
water. That just it was giving reparations. You know, like she was trying to make up for the. I don't know. She said it had nothing to do with it. It felt like it had something to do with it.
Do you think Dorit actually didn't read the invite, or she doesn't want to wear a caftan?
I think it could be. I feel like maybe she had selective sight. I feel like peripherally, her eyes saw the word caftan, and she chose not to fully acknowledge it.
She was like Christian Dior. Okay.
Yeah, it's like Christian Dior and Caviar. Look, she looked amazing. I thought when she walked in, I was like, oh, because she's a fashion girly. I was like, okay, so this is the Dorit interpretation of a caftan.
Fair.
To me, it registered as caftan adjacent, and when I saw the group of ladies in their caftans together, I understood why she wouldn't want to wear a caftan. It's not for me. You know, is it for you?
Well, can I tell you something?
They look comfy though.
I was gonna say, my dream, give me a baked potato, a giant caftan in a back porch.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah, that is nice. But they weren't okay.
With someone talking about like what they wore to Oscars 30 years ago, please, yeah.
I hope that the fancy Caviar restaurant isn't watching, because you just compared their outdoor seating to a back porch.
Well, sorry. That's what most fancy things. I know, like, some of the cushions were not fully. I was like,
okay. I wasn't paying that close attention this episode.
I was.
What was wrong with the cushions?
They weren't like fluffed the correct way, I feel like. And a lot of them, they were like, you're just kind of like putting them out. I'm like, if I'm going to a place and I'm spending $1,500 for a baked potato, I would want it to have a little more to it. Right.
Do you think that Dorit enjoyed the caviar? Because Sutton seemed doubtful that she would even understand what kind of caviar she was consuming.
Caviar Caspia is best known for its twice-baked potato that has a ton of caviar on top. I prefer the Acetra, the most expensive one. Somebody like Dorit would get the cheapest one, which would be the red roe caviar that you get on top of sushi sometimes.
Because that's when the Dorit comment came up. She was like, she because I think Sutton was saying like, I like the twice baked potato with this special certain caviar that comes from like, I don't know, the eyeball of a beluga. I have no idea about caviar.
To me is, I'm like, who gives a You know what I mean? I'm like, that's how you have to. That's where Sutton lives.
When you did explain your dream with the baked potato and the caftan, it didn't include caviar.
No, I don't eat fish, and I don't eat fish eggs, and I'm like, I don't eat things that look like if caviar was laid out in your kitchen apartment, you'd be like, I have to call an exterminator. I have rats. I'm not paying $1,500.
You think it looks like rat poop?
Think. I know in my heart and soul.
Wait, that's a hot take. Caviar, it looks like rat poop. And it's a thing.
I'm like, I think I've only heard that it's just very salty taste. So I'm like, you're just eating that to like think that you're something you're not. It's a very status order, because I'm like, no one actually wants caviar. If you're gonna eat and also you're eating a baked potato at our fancy restaurant. I'm like, what's the charade here? I'm like, you want that full with like sour cream cheese
at Wendy's.
Chives. Yeah.
Like the way Lisa Barlow would do it.
Yes, me and Lisa, I'm with you in Italy food. Yeah.
I feel like Lisa Barlow, actually, I would love to know, I think we're talking to her in a few weeks. I would love to know if she enjoys caviar on top of a baked potato.
Of course, we love Meredith Marks selling caviar. We're just not eating it.
The thing is, I do enjoy caviar.
I've never seen you eat it once.
Okay. Funny story.
Okay. Can't wait to laugh.
Funny stories. You probably won't laugh because you won't be able to relate. The only time I've eaten caviar is with Sutton Stracke at her boutique in West Hollywood. So her thing is that she always serves champagne and caviar.
You hear that, Dorit?
This was before they were fighting, Dorit. This was before y'all were not getting along.
Come on.
So Sutton, oftentimes when I lived in LA, she would host like these really fun events and parties at her boutique in West Hollywood, and she would always serve champagne and caviar. And she loved to get the party started and offer bumps of caviar. Have you ever done a bump of? Do you know what a bump of caviar is?
I know what a bump is. I know what a bump of a lot of things are. I know caviar and Charlie XCX. There's bumps of a lot of things going on in Los Angeles.
So
don't test your caviar.
I didn't know what a bump of caviar was until. Yeah, exactly. You know the drill.
Again, that's like a cat licking like rat.
Sutton, I hope you're not watching this. No, it's not a cat licking rat.
Yes.
Okay. Somehow I feel like
that's my opinion.
I feel like somehow like Let the Mouse Go needs to be incorporated.
Oh my God, yeah, let the mouse go number 2. So then I'll put it on my baked potato and sell it in a back door for $1,200.
The caviar that Sutton served me.
Delectable.
It was good. It's very like salty and buttery, which are two things I don't normally like.
You don't eat.
But when Sutton Stracke is extracting caviar.
You know how caviar gets extracted, right?
No.
Can't wait for you to Google that after knowing you ate it.
Wait, give me a summary. Just
I think it's like because it's like eggs, so they extract them from the fish. It was like.
But how are they? How are they vacuumed out? Do they?
Baby, the fish die.
Do they?
Rainbow fish is dead for your bump of caviar in West Hollywood, my love.
So you're ruining this. You're ruining all my memories from Sutton's parties.
Well, I'm here to help.
Okay, so is the fish sliced open and then we? Is it like
is this like DA drop everything and read? What are we doing?
I don't know. That's the fish splitting open.
Splitting open. What are you jumping to someone in paparazzi photos?
No, is it like
in an airport splitting open?
Is it like a C-section?
C-section, my love. What?
For like because you have
a suction. It's like
a C-section. Okay. I will be Googling this afterwards.
You will be Googling it.
Okay.
And I also am going to be Googling the airport that Mauricio had an embrace in.
Did you see the photos of him in Greece at the airport with the girl that has no clothes on?
Oh, yeah. I know that. So that's how the episode ended, was with Mauricio's. Yeah. Oh. so Mauricio's smoochy smoo. Mm-hmm. The interesting thing, though, is that Sutton, again, giving some hot takes. She seems to think that Kyle and Mauricio are playing paparazzi games with each other, which it sounds like so much fun.
I know, War of Roses. This is why I'm like, Heather Dubrow, like, if you can do it.
Exactly. I mean, what do you think? Do you think they're playing paparazzi games with each other?
I don't think Kyle called the paparazzis with her and Morgan because that seemed to really neither of them enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I don't know was this an airport in Greece or where?
I know they were traveling to and from Greece. I don't know if the airport was in Greece or the States.
It looked very close up for them not to know a photo was happening.
Yeah. I mean, but then doesn't that go to show that Mauricio still cares if he wants to make Kyle jealous?
Who's saying that? I'm thinking Mauricio called them.
You think the girl called? So you think the girl could be playing paparazzi games? And
also with a thing too, where I'm like, dating while separated type of stuff. It's like, okay, well, if you really want to date me, photos, camera comm. Now you guys have to make a little more moves about your separation, because if you're still working things out while you're making out with me, picking up the baggage, it'll look a little weird, in my opinion.
Well, I feel like if it was the girl behind this scheme, she needs to scheme a little bit smarter, because we still don't know her name.
Oh, very Alicia Keys. It was Alicia Keys.
You know what? It was Alicia Keys. He was kissing Alicia Keys. Sorry, though, he was not kissing Alicia Keys. We are not spreading misinformation. Missy.
No, but you know who won the episode?
Who?
Erica Jane in the robe and the full glam, full Coke, straw, Coca-Cola. I realized I was saying a lot
You
of
never
words.
know.
You never know. On the FaceTime with Kyle.
Yes.
She looks so good. Because
She
you
did
know
look really
production's
good.
probably like, someone has to call Kyle. Erica's like,
Let me be the one.
I'll do it.
Yeah. She did look really good.
Look so good. I know.
This is kind of like Erica's season.
She really-
I mean, you think it's about Sutton and Dorit. You think it's about Dorit and Kyle. Who it's really about is about
Roxy.
The name on everybody's lips is gonna. You know what I'm saying? Like she's just living her best life. I do love to see it every single week. She's redesigning her outdoor space.
I know.
She's sipping her full-bodied Coke.
Now that outdoor space looked nicer than the restaurant.
You'd rather eat your baked potato.
With Erica Jane in a caftan in her backyard.
That does sound really
Not even
lovely.
a singular question.
Yeah, that does sound.
Erica, I'll see you there.